Later this month, we'll be voting in the European elections unless a deal is sorted out by the political parties at Westminster.
Well, the vote means families from the EU who settled in the UK will be able to take part too, although they've had to fill out an application to stay here post-Brexit.
The EU settlement status scheme was only fully rolled out this spring. Applicants who have lived here for at least 5 years will be given settled status, meaning they have no immigration restrictions.
Those who've lived here less than that will get pre-settled status, meaning they can stay for at least another 5 years.
However, the whole process has been criticised for being too complicated, as our Tarabi reports.
These are some of the people whose lives have been plunged into limbo for almost 3 years. They're EU citizens who have lived in the UK for over a decade, but now uncertainty clouds their lives.
On the day of the referendum, our son completely burst in tears. Mum, do we have to move? Do we have to go? Do we have to leave this country?
Kate and Adam Pfeiffer are Polish nationals. They moved to the UK 12 years ago. Their 2 children were born here. But following the referendum vote in 2016, many families like theirs are worried about the future.
Since referendum, we really live in the limbo. We not really know what's happening in the next few months, few weeks, few years. It's a simple situation like with our daughter, which has got a British passport. 3 of us, we've got only Polish passport. What's happened with her after when we want to cross the border? And even now, if you're going, you can see 2 different queues.
One is for EU
citizens and for non-EU.
So then she as a British, she has to stand in the different queue, and we as a family, so there's dividing families.
Do you feel British or do you feel Polish? Or do you feel both?
Half and half, because when I know how to speak British and I've lived here all my life. So essentially I've got my background in Poland, or my mum and dad have, but my life is here in England.
And that's the feeling of many EU citizens across the country. There are more than 3 million in the UK. To stay here, they will have to apply through the settlement scheme, which is a digital-based application.
And it's not exactly straightforward. At the moment, those with an Android phone can prove their identity using the app. But for those who have other devices like an iPhone, for example, can send off their documents via post or go to scanning centres across the country. I've tried to have a look at the process here and it can be confusing.
We have up to June 2021 to apply. If there's a no deal, by the end of 2020. It's a really short period of time to put into a system 3.6 million people, because they need to be aware of applying for it. And from my experience going on the ground, because I facilitate a free EU session in the community and in the workplace, many people think they have the right documentation and are given those rights automatically. There's a lot of misconception.
We're working really hard to get over the uncertainty. We've released a £3.75 million advertising campaign in the last couple of weeks to explain to people the way the system works, the need to apply. People are already applying. We've had 400,000 people go through the application process already. My message to EU citizens here is deal or no deal. Go through the scheme. Get your status secured. There is no cost to do so. You can do it quickly and easily online, and we want you to stay.
But not everyone is feeling reassured.
Why should I have to apply? And we've been made to feel like second-class citizens because we're being told we're different.
Elena Usonovic is a German national. She first came to the country when she was 16 years old and says she's been made to feel like a stranger in her own home.
When you don't know whether you're allowed to live in your home, when you are being told that you're not wanted here, forget your average citizen on the street, your average Brit. If your Prime Minister tells you you're a queue jumper, you feel very unwelcome and you feel angry. I've lost friends who haven't engaged with me on the subject. I've had nightmares about being deported. People don't seem to understand that someone telling you from one day to the next, through no fault of your own, that you now aren't worthy of being here anymore, that hurts.
For these EU nationals, planning for a future while stuck in limbo is proving a difficult task. Our Tarabi, ITV News.
It is the end of service.